We are live here at Heavy Muscle Radio on this March 21st, 2022 evening. I'm here with Lee Priest and Chris Aceto. And Chris, this is my grandma Annie's. I don't know what birthday it would have been for her. She's obviously not alive, but this is her birthday. And I remember it because it's also the first day of spring. So
that's right. It is the first day of spring. It's 50 degrees warmer today in Antarctica. Do you see that?
I didn't see it, but I saw the penguin jumping into the water. Yeah, with the penguin jumping. Actually, it's the first day of fall over there, right, Lee, for you in Australia?
Is it fall or autumn for us? I think it's autumn.
Autumn and fall the same season.
Oh, that's right. Before winter. Why do you Americans have to call it fall? Oh, because the leaves fall off the trees.
The leaves fall down. Yeah. What are you driving from? Where are you driving from?
I haven't been to a laundromat, Dave, since I lived in Venice because my washing machine blew up. I got to wait for a new machine. But you
got a terrible connection.
Yeah.
I'll be home.
Sounds like you're driving over rocks.
Yeah. I may have to put you on mute till you get home. Yeah, it's not good. I'm muting you. Okay. All right, Chris, we'll talk. We'll just let Lee sit there until he gets home. Now, I guess we had some shows this weekend, Chris, but there wasn't.
Yeah, we had the Kool-Aid Classic.
I was going to pull that up. Yeah, I have the. I guess Urs Kalasinski won that again, which was nice. What did you think of the? I can't find pictures anywhere. Where are the pictures?
I didn't see the lineup. Bader's Billions couldn't get it on live stream, I guess.
I wonder why they didn't live stream that. That sounds like something that right up Bader's alley. Was Ashkenani in the show?
He's
in the 212. They had a 212 also, I think, right?
Yeah. But
I hate when I'm not prepared. No.
Well, you know what? It's funny they don't have the open show over there.
Yeah, I don't know why they had it that one year, right? And
I was there. It was when Ramy beat everyone there. They said it was fixed. I said, don't forget, it was the Arnold Spain the week before, so it wasn't exactly fixed.
I actually thought that's when Ramy looked almost his best at that point.
No, the Spain show was his best.
That's what I mean, the Arnold Spain, I thought he was peeled out of his mind at that show.
Yeah, that was his all-time best, I think. I think he's bigger now, but
yeah, he is bigger than.
I just think, like everyone else, Jay Cutler said it best. When we get bigger, he was talking about the Olympia winners, we get worse. Isn't it true?
Yeah. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Why do you think guys,
because there is a fulcrum. There is a tipping point where on everyone's physique, when you add a little bit more muscle, everything else gets distorted looking. Like the midsection, if the midsection goes on anyone, like it throws the physique off. Ronnie got a huge gut, right?
Yeah.
Jay's midsection got wider. He always had a super flat midsection, but if you go back to 01 or 99 to 98, he had the crazy width with super tight midsection.
Yeah.
Phil, of course, his midsection torpedoed his physique towards the end.
Kai. Was that age or was that really just getting too big?
Great question, Dave. Absolutely great question. Both. I don't know what percent. I'm sure there's some little guru out there who would know exactly what percent, but it's hard to say how much can be attributed to getting older where your physique changes and, just adding the extra quote size.
Right.
But that's just the way it is.
Because it seems like I think, one of the things you always point out whenever we, comment on shows is you love when these young guys come out, you always say they have fresh looking muscle. And
Urs. Really, this is what people freaking out over Urs. And if you look at two people that people are going wacky over right now, it's in Classic. It's not even the Open. Urs and Ramon.
And Bumstead is still very young too. People forget.
Bumstead's probably in a whole different. You know what I mean? He's still young for sure.
But he's got that young muscle too. You know what I mean?
That's mature looking. You know what I mean? He's got the best of both worlds. He's got young, fresh, dense muscle, but a little bit more etched maturity than definitely more than Urs and Ramon have.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's I think the appeal also for Nick Walker, wouldn't you say? I mean, Nick and
Yep.
Hunter Labrada, they're young guys. They have very tight skin, and they don't have lumps and bumps all over the place. And I think it's a nice look. Let's face it. Youth sometimes does beat people who are a little older because you don't have
Raphael. I just sent you the Raphael pictures. You can't get any fresher than that.
No. He's how old is Raphael? Is he about 30?
No, 27.
Oh, really?
26, 27.
We have a new crop of like a lot of young guys in their 20s, and I think that they're like we've been saying, they've been kind of moving up the ranks. How old is Regan? Regan's pretty young too, right?
Yeah, he's young. I'm guessing late 20s.
Yeah,
late 20s, 27, 28.
These guys are coming into their coming into themselves, and they're reaching their peaks now, or they're approaching their peaks, and I think that it's kind of pushing the old guard out, right? I mean, we don't really have a lot of old guys left in the lineup. We don't have any Dexters still hanging around there,
Well, you don't. I mean, Dexter, Rowley, the names that were.
They're not dominating as much as they were.
They can't.
It's what's the old saying? Father Time never loses.
Yeah, catches everyone.
He never loses. He can't lose.
Catches everyone, but every athlete, still has it in their head. Mentally, they have, right?
Right.
They know they want to come back, or they think they can hang around at an older age, but they can't.
There was a muscle contest show in Classic Physique in Brazil. I was surprised that Ramon didn't jump in that thing.
Well, he already won. They had one like 7 weeks ago. People don't know, Dave. They had a pro show that between the Olympia and the Arnold. So he competed at the Olympia midway through, did the Brazil Pro,
right,
and then he did the Arnold.
Why not just jump in this? This could have been an easy paycheck for him.
Well, Boston would have been an easy paycheck for him.
That's true, but then he's got to go to Boston. I mean, he lived.
I wish I could find these chat guys when we were talking about Ramon, and you asked me, was he going to beat Urs? I said yes, and all these little chat group people on the right of the screen went nuts. Urs is going to kill him.
Is there a rivalry there in their country with the two of them?
No, Urs is from Poland, and
I'm confusing. Sorry, I'm confused. No, I mean between Ramon and
no,
what's his name?
Urs,
Rafa Brandao. Are they like both loved, or is there a competition? Like he's better and he's better?
They're both universally loved.
Okay. I'm wondering because I know they're very passionate about their athletes there.
Yeah, they are very passionate. They love bodybuilding, right? They love football. They like MMA. They like the wellness division.
They created the wellness division.
They did.
Lee, how you doing over there? How's that audio working? Can you hear us?
It's good. Now, before you sounded like robots. I couldn't hear a thing.
Oh, you sounded even worse.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah. Anyway, so how come you had to go to the laundromat today?
Because my washing machine decided to break like a week ago. It just wouldn't spin, but then it would spin, but then it wouldn't turn on. But because I had an extended warranty, they're going to give me a new washing machine, but it said it could be 2 weeks. So I go down and hang out now if the crack ends.
They got to get you a new microphone.
Yeah, your microphone's not working very well, Lee. Lee, you sound very low. You're usually perfect. You ever notice, Chris, every time we do something with him, he's always changing his microphone setup. 1 week he has headphones on, the next he's got that big thing that hangs down in front of him.
Yeah, maybe the cat. There's Arnold. Speaking of Arnold, there's Arnold in the background.
Yeah. Now, I know you guys asked me what I thought about Arnold's little speech he gave to the Russian people. What was your impression of it, Chris?
My impression was that Aaron Singerman wouldn't like it.
Well, he doesn't really have anything to say right now. He's in jail. So,
it was, it was genuine. I think. I think it was important to say. I think that, of course, it was propaganda, but I think he's on the right side of propaganda. Right? In war, there's all kinds of propaganda all the time.
Why do you think he did the speech? I mean, obviously,
because he did the speech because he's a woke liberal like me, even though I'm a Republican.
And he's a Republican too.
Yeah, I know, but we're rhinos, Dave. we're Republican by name only. You know, I think that he lived the American dream, and like the epitome. You can't define the American dream, you know, just all of it like Arnold. You know, bodybuilding. We're all of us here today, you know, on the show, are bodybuilders. Hollywood, governor, all of it, you know, really close to the bushes. And I think that, you know, he thinks back to like how old Europe used to be, you know, under the fear of a war, always in fear of war when he was growing up. His father was in the war. Right. And you know what? History repeats itself. We come full circle. We make the same old bullshit mistakes over and over and over. And, you know, he's older and has nothing to lose. So on any topic that's important to him,
he'll make a comment.
He has the balls to come out and say, you know, Trump's an idiot. January 6th, you know, January 6th, the insurrection, he made a big speech.
Oh, he was very against that. Yeah.
And then he, you know, with COVID, he made a big speech. And now with Russia invading the Ukraine, you know, he's reaching out directly to Russian people to try to, you know, encourage them to think differently.
Right. You know, I think that I actually like what Arnold said, because what he did was he appealed to he said, look, these Russian people are not behind this. I mean, because everyone's blaming the Russians. It's the Russian government that's doing it. And he wanted to say, look, he has a lot of Russian friends. He was very impressed by Russia, obviously, back in the day when he would go and watch, you know, powerlifting meets there. He even kind of put it out there that his father fought on the wrong side of the, you know, in World War II. You know, he fought for the Nazis, and you know, that was always a big thing. People talking about Arnold's father being a Nazi. He fought for the wrong side, Arnold said, and that was the first time I'd ever really seen him really admit that and say that outright. And so he basically, you know, wanted the Russian people to know that, look, we know that, you know, that you guys are not the bad guys; it's the government, and but that doesn't obviously, you know. I don't know what can be done. You know, that's the problem. But it was good that Arnold put it out there. And I think you're right. I think he's at a point in his life where he doesn't care anymore. He's like, I don't care what people think. I'm just going to put my thoughts out there. And I think it's important to say these things, especially since he is an influential person in the world.
I think that Kanye West is going to do a little bit of blow and put out his little speech as well.
Lee, I think you ought to make your speech on the Russian situation there, to the Russian-Ukrainian situation. People want to know. First, you got to get your microphone working because we can't hear you. He's having a lot of
the cat shredded his connection.
I think the cat was chewing on the wires. That's what happened. Yeah, exactly. You know, while Lee's figuring this out, I think it's, you know, a lot of people have been asking Chris about this Urs Kalasinski versus Ramon, I guess you could say, rivalry that is going on. And, you know, Urs did beat him. Ramon beat Urs. A lot of people think that Urs is the next coming in Classic. What is your take on that? Give me an analysis of both of these guys. Like, you know,
Urs will. Here's my analysis. If Ramon wasn't there, Urs would be the next in line, right? Because Urs has the Francis Benefato type structure of classic bodybuilding, meaning Urs is the Anya Langer, if you remember her, right?
Yeah, of course.
He's got the A1 structure. He's got great conditioning. He's young. I call him the beauty bear because he wears makeup and he's got the best hair in bodybuilding and best teeth.
He actually has a little Chris Aceto in that hairdo.
And I mean, he's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. And the reason Ramon beats him is because Ramon is a different structure. It's not as pretty, but it's close. But It's bigger. The arms are bigger. The shoulders are bigger. The back is bigger. The conditioning is as good, if not better. And I think that, honestly, I predicted. I predicted, but I said that Ramon would beat him at the Arnold, because when Ramon came, only his second, when Ramon came to the Olympia, he was stuck in an airport for 2 days, and he got to the venue. I mean, he got to the town where they have the Olympia last year, Orlando, wherever they had it.
Yeah.
He got there, honestly, 14 hours before the prejudging started. So I thought, look at that shot, say.
Yeah. I think they match up very well, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do. In person, you can see that there's more dense musculature to Ramon. Yeah. But I wouldn't rest. Ramon's going to be an idiot to rest on the laurels. He can't just get lazy and think which I don't think he is. I just beat him.
Right.
Because, like I said, the kids, Urs has got great everything. He won the Boston show. He won this Kuwait show.
Lee Priest, what do you think? Urs Kalasinski versus Ramon Dino. Give me your analysis of these two guys.
Can you hear me now?
We can actually hear you. Yes,
Well, I was going to talk about my friends in Russia, because I have friends that are Russian, and I always say to them, "Why are you Russian? Slow down."
It's
like the ones in
send you over there to negotiate the terms of the surrender there.
All I got from Arnold's speech was that he filmed Red Heat at Red Square. He was the first people to film in the Red Square. I have lots of Russian friends, but he brought out this video. He's brought out the Screw Your Freedom video. I missed the Stop Burning and Looting Wendy's and shit video when the riots were going on. What happened to that one? Leave Portland alone. Do not burn and loot Portland. What happened to those videos?
So what's your final word on that?
I don't know. Arnold just goes for attention now. As you get older like me, you just got to grab what attention you can.
Yeah, I noticed that Arnold's becoming a lot more like you, Lee Priest. He says what's on his mind.
Well, I just do it because I'm an idiot. He's just doing it because he's got, Alzheimer's coming on. He doesn't know what he's saying.
No,
it's like my grandfather. Oh, your father used to say, when you get older, and I was with Joe Gold, as you get to a certain age, you can pretty much say and do anything, and they just say, "Oh, he's old. Just leave him alone." You can get away with a lot more when you get to that 65, 70 mark. People just put it down as dementia.
So what do we have to expect when you hit 65?
Oh,
Look out.
Look out. I won't know what I'm saying.
How's the diet going, by the way? Chris, has he been following what you're telling him?
I have. Look at me.
He lost 10 pounds.
Your face looks completely different. I'll tell you that.
That's just from the clen and the
fluid. The fluid.
DNP.
But I did tell Chris out. The only thing I taken was a shot of test. Remember I said I took that shot of test?
The one shot?
I haven't taken one. Yeah, I haven't taken one since, because when I did that one shot, I hit like a blood vessel. First go, whack, pull it out, starts bleeding, fucking aching. I go to do shoulders during the week. I'm like, fuck this. So, it's going to have a shot every 7th day. It might be every 12th day now, because the first one. I'm like,
would you listen?
Why am I doing this?
Hold on. Can you just listen to what he's telling you to do?
I am, but it hurts when I have a shot, Dave. And I even used a small needle. This is how bad it was. All I found in my box of tricks from years ago was an insulin needle. So I had to sit there with 300 milligrams of the test, pushing it through an insulin syringe. The thing's banging back and.
Hold on. You know that Amazon, I don't know about Amazon in Australia, but Amazon.com here, where you could buy needles, on there.
Well, why buy new ones when I got a box in there from years ago, but they're still good, but it just takes a long time to push oil through a 25 gauge.
You're not supposed to put oil through an insulin pen. It doesn't go deep enough. You're going to get an infection.
No, it's like that long on the end. It's like a half an inch. It's only my shoulder. How far do you think the muscle is?
Doug Wentz would call Lee, Chris, a Walmart bodybuilder.
I said to Chris, can I take? I said, is there any tabs I can take?
Walmart bodybuilder.
Yes, he asked about tabs. Test Andreol, Dave.
Oh, he has those?
No, he doesn't have anything.
Oh.
No, I should. One a dem a day would be good.
A Walmart bodybuilder, according to Doug, is the guy who he misses shots. He doesn't have the right equipment. He uses the same syringe over and over again. he does things like half-assed, and that's the Walmart bodybuilder, cheaps out on the.
I haven't used the same. I have used the same syringe sometimes. I just changed the needle on the end. Well, that's not like oil going in it. What's the difference? Why?
Have you not been driving around because the price of gas are too high too?
No, I've been driving. You complain over there. I just paid $2.39 a litre, so there's 4 litres in a gallon, so that's like that's $9 something a gallon.
Wow.
And I took my friend to Sydney in the Mustang Gap. They were doing 120. I said, "Watch this." Within a second, from 120 to 195.
He burnt the quarter tank of gas, probably.
That was coming home. I drove sensibly, and I used the same amount of gas coming home that I did in the quick spurt when I went to 200.
You know what happens when you hit that? When you hit that accelerator, just the gas goes.
Oh. It's like pouring a bucket in.
Yeah.
Did you see that video? There's a video on the Hodge twins did a video. It's on their thing. Have you seen if you pull up their YouTube thing, there's a guy at the gas station. He's got like a flatbed truck with a tarp in it, and he's filling it up with fuel in the back. People make a pool in the back of their truck. He's putting petrol in it. Then he drives off. And these people are filming him, trying to call the police, and they're chasing him. He's going around corners, and fuel's flying out the back of his truck. It's leaking everywhere. I'm thinking, if his brakes catch fire or someone throws a cigarette out, it's going to poof. He's at the back. And they told the woman in the petrol station, she's like, "Yeah, I know. I called the police." But he's filling up the back bed of his truck with petrol. He must have. I'm thinking, how much is that going to cost him? But as soon as he drives out the driveway, it falls out. Yeah. He goes around the corner. It just swashes out the side. Fuel going everywhere. I'm thinking, wow.
The Hodge twins are like the modern day Barbarian brothers, aren't they?
Oh, like if you watch this video of this guy filling up the bed of his truck with petrol, it's like.
I think that's something that they would do, right? They would just fill up the back the back of the truck,
Well, I've seen people do it like they make a swimming pool. They put a tarp in and put water in, but never someone with a fuel pump just standing there filling it up.
Probably not a very safe idea, especially since if a spark comes off the ground, it could probably ignite the whole thing. All right,
someone drives past with a cigarette.
Yeah, let me ask you this: let's get back to Urs Kalasinski versus Ramon Dino for a minute. I want your input on this. Who do you like better? Why? Who has better future potential?
That's a future potential is hard because we don't know their mindset or how focused they are and how long they want to go for. But
just looking at their physiques,
it's hard to say. Well, looking at their physiques, I think they both look great. It just depends on what sort of physique you like. Urs is the younger one. He's the youngest, isn't he, out of the two of them? So I don't know. It's like
they're close, though.
Right? I like them both. I think they both look great. So it's just like, as far as future potential goes, that'll come down to the judges and who's got the better mindset and who wants to, push through harder times and shit. So, but yeah, I think both look great. It'd be hard to, apples and oranges, or really you got apples and apples here. Just one's a different shape apple, but they're both really good.
Whose physique do you like better?
When I saw those ones of Ramon did the Olympia, didn't he? Yeah. They both did, but I think I remember the ones I saw of Ramon before the Olympia, we didn't have the tan on. I thought he had a real pretty, like, flowing lines, but then I don't know. It was just
Chris said he got to the Olympia like the same day or something like that. He had some travel problems.
Yeah, because when I saw those pictures of him before when he had no tan on, I was thinking, wow, if that's how he looks with no tan, that's pretty good. So, as far as from what I've seen, I think Ramon standing there, I prefer his. Urs still has that sort of younger look to his muscle and that, but I think I prefer Ramon.
Okay. Just wanted to get your opinion.
My opinion doesn't mean shit, but that's what I think.
No, but we ask your opinion anyway. Now, what I found to be the most interesting, event of the weekend was this fight between Thor Björnsson and Eddie Hall. Thor was world's strongest man one year, and Eddie Hall was world's strongest man. They had this grudge thing going on. And I guess some rich guy must have put up some money. I know the fight was held in Dubai. They've been building this thing for 2 years now, building it up. And I didn't even think it was going to – I thought it was going to be like the Mr. G Big Lenny fight. That never was going to happen. But I guess they actually had some real people behind this. I think they each made $1 million on this fight.
That's
I don't know if you guys
money.
Watched. I'll put up let me get some highlights up here of this thing just in case you guys didn't see it.
Where'd they have the fight? Was it in Vegas or no?
It was in Dubai. It was in
Dubai.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, I actually found it very interesting.
That's why Beta didn't have an open show because of.
Oh, is that what it was? All right, these are some of the highlights. Eddie has a very strong right, but Hafthor to me
he was more technical. Yeah, he was more technical fighter than Eddie was going for the big knockout punch, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
they both landed a few. Well, I think Eddie's the first one to knock Thor down. He said he hasn't been knocked down before. So
yeah, he said he had a few fights. I think the guy who was training was a real boxing trainer, and he made him had a few regular fights. But if you just look at them, I mean, Hafthor looks like a real boxer. I think he's going to continue fighting after this. I mean, he said he's really enjoying it. He's got the crazy long reach. The guy is like I mean, Eddie Hall is not a small guy, but Hafthor's got to be 6'9" or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, if that Jake Paul whatever can make millions boxing, why can't he? So
I'd like to see Hafthor fight Jake Paul, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing. I mean,
we'll get Sugar Sean and Guy Cicinino on the undercard.
Yeah. My question to you guys is, I mean, $1 million is a lot of money. I mean, the Mr. Olympia doesn't make $1 million. I mean, and these guys, made it in, for 20 minutes work here. Do you think that we might see, because it seems like celebrity boxing, seeing big guys, go after each other, internet celebrities. Do you think that we might see some bodybuilders go into that arena? And
Elon Musk challenged Putin. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
He did.
I think Putin would kick his ass.
He tweeted it when he was high.
I've seen Putin do his judo and stuff. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
that's like Steve Blackman. That's like Steve Blackman fighting, Putin or something like that. I mean, come on.
That's what happened. Is Putin's right hand man came on and tweeted after that a follow up tweet to Elon Musk that Putin would kick your ass.
Did you see that video of Putin where he's actually doing judo and the people are lined up to do it with him? And the guys that are coming up to do the judo with Putin, they have that look on their face where maybe if I hit him and injure him, you'll never see me again. Yeah, so it's almost like they're letting Putin win. It's like you're not going to hit the president.
How old is Putin? Does anyone know how old he is? You guys know?
No,
I 60s, wouldn't
he? Yeah, it's got to be in his 60s with 100 billion.
Yeah,
because he's with how long was he had the KGB?
Maybe Arnold should fight Putin. How great would that be in a celebrity boxing match? Arnold versus Putin. Whoever wins, if Arnold wins, they stop the war. Putin wins, he gets to keep going.
And then Stallone fights the winner after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rocky 14.
Van Damme.
Yeah, there's a new Van Damme actually. Oh, look, this is when Hafthor kind of got hit pretty good. Van Damme has gotten some new. I think it's like an Apple TV series or Amazon series. Did you see this? It's like some new like I try to watch it. The problem with Van Damme is he's a terrible actor. But he's actually pretty funny in this little thing.
Is that the one where he plays himself? Is that the one where
he plays himself, right. It's like a fictionalized version of him.
Yeah, I started to watch and I couldn't watch it.
I'll tell you what.
It's like every movie he does now is bad. He does bad movies now. And Bruce Willis has done like 4 movies in the last 3 months that are all bloody terrible. Yeah. And then I've just noticed for some reason Mel Gibson's done a few shockers that have just come out.
Yeah. After Mel Gibson, kind of had that crazy rant, anti-Semitic rant that was released. It was like the Rich Piana tapes, his career kind of went downhill from there. I don't even know why he's still trying to go into the movies. He's got tons of money. I would just lay low at this point. He's trying to do like funny parts now, if you notice, though. More stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but back to the bodybuilders into boxing, I think it would be funny because especially say like, let's just get the Mr. Olympia. People said Rami should have won. Brendan should have won. Okay, we take the first and second place, put them in a ring, and whoever wins that next part is the Mr. Olympia. It's going to be like how we used to have the challenge round. This will be the bodybuilding round. And if people aren't happy with the outcome, you fight it out.
Seriously, though, I'm saying this.
I was being serious.
If some big bodybuilding fan, like from the Middle East, Chris, we know some guys who might do this, who have a lot of money, would offer Lee Priest $1 million to fight Sean Rafe, and who'd get $1 million.
Lee would do it for free, but go ahead.
I know he would, but think about it. How could the two of them say no? They wouldn't, right? Sean would definitely do it, even if he got his ass kicked. He wouldn't care. He would do it because it's $1 million, right? So, I mean, will we see? Phil Heath offered a ridiculous amount of money to fight, I don't know, Branch Warren or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I think people would watch this stuff.
We'll get my actor friend who was going to do the voiceover on my documentary. The one from Touch Me and I'll Sue, Richard Gant.
Oh yeah.
We'll get Richard Gant. He can be the referee.
I mean, back in the day, would you love to see Kovacs versus Paul Dillette? I mean, how funny would that be? How about Big Ramy fighting? I don't know, who could he fight?
I think a few of these bodybuilders might need a bit better conditioning because after one round they'll be.
Who's that crazy big guy Chris, you work with in Europe? There, what's his name? Jamie the Giant?
No, that's I don't. I've never.
That's a different guy. But you work with another guy? Who's that other freaky big guy who was a power lifter and now he's a bodybuilder?
You keep
Martin
asking
Ford
me
might
about
get into
that.
the boxing.
Dave keeps asking me about a powerlifter from Europe. Why you
work
And
with
twice,
him.
and twice he said,
Morgan.
Morgan Asti. Yeah,
Morgan would
Asti
smash
versus
people.
Grammy. How about that?
Yeah, Morgan would smash anyone.
Right?
Morgan would be a great actor too.
Morgan should fight. What's his name? Hathor.
Martin Ford. Martin Ford.
How about him? Yeah, he's making a lot of money now. Who's he fight? They got him built to fight someone. Logan Paul. Isn't he going to fight him? They got Martin Ford supposed to fight someone now. That was the latest I heard.
My friend just did his car in England for him. He's got a nice BMW i8. He just did all the body on it and the body kit and that on it.
On an electric.
And Martin said Lee and I should do Twins remake, but he would be the uglier one. Bald.
They got a Twins remake coming up.
I heard they're going to do triplets, and Eddie Murphy's going to be the brother. If that's still in the script, it's meant to be. Yeah, it's meant to be Danny DeVito again and Arnold, and then they find their brother Eddie Murphy. That was.
Oh, that will be a good one. Yeah. Eddie, did you see the Eddie Murphy Coming to America, the new one?
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it though.
Yeah. Let me pull up a picture of Martin Ford here for those people who don't know.
Are you still watching that other one on Apple TV where they go to work and they can't remember, then they go home?
I think
Severance.
I don't think there's a. I don't think the new one came out yet. I caught up. I'm waiting for the newest episode to come out. I'm watching so many series. I watched another thing, The Adam Project. Have you seen that movie on Netflix?
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one. That's pretty funny.
He goes back in time and he hangs out with himself as a kid. There's Martin Ford. Good. Imagine walking into a dark alley and seeing this guy. How scary would that be, Chris?
Depends if he was dressed or naked.
Dave, I'm trying to figure out when Dave, you have the time with 3 kids to watch anything.
I'll tell you what I do. This is what I do. I have 2 times I can watch at night when I put the kids to bed. I have to sit in the game room to make sure that they don't leave the room. They're actually really sleeping. So I usually have an hour.
Do you yell at them if they leave the room, or do?
Yeah, I got to go put them back in bed and say, "Get back in there. You're not going, to MMA tomorrow, or you're not going wherever." So I usually have 9:30 to about 10:30. I'll watch something there, like an episode of something, and then on the weekends when we do nap time for 2 hours, I'll watch some TV. That's my catch up time. But I never had that before. I didn't watch TV for like 2.5-3 years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
on Netflix, there's that new one we started watching. That new Toni Collette one.
Who's in that? What's that about?
Okay, it's about her and her daughter. They're in a place, and then these people coming out to kill them. Then you find out she's been in witness protection her whole life due to her family run some big drug company, and her grandfather was killed because the drugs killed someone. Then whoever she was dating might be a bad person, and he's looking for her to kill her. Or...
Get rid of. Don't even watch that one. I'm going to tell you to watch because someone told me this on Ask Dave, and I started watching Reacher. You got to watch Reacher.
I've watched it all. I watched it all.
Oh, you did?
Lee's watched it all. Lee's the biggest movie fan, Dave.
I'm dying now, Dave. I'm dying. I have no life. What else do I have to do?
I remember.
I sit at home cooking chicken and rice and shit.
Right.
It's like I can't go out because there's
you're going to be watching a lot of
out.
movies now that you can't eat anymore. Now that you're on an actual diet.
I know. you know what it was like the other day when I go to get petrol, and I get petrol, I walk in, and I have to walk past the ice creams, I have to walk past the donuts, I have to walk past. I'm like, this sucks.
He's fighting the Iranian Hulk. I couldn't come up with that.
Ah.
So.
The Iranian Hulk.
Yeah. I think he's going to destroy this guy. The Iranian Hulk doesn't look like he's in that great a shape, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think he might get puffed out unless he just goes for the big haymaker.
We should get. I'd like to see. They should let Titus out of prison, and maybe Kamali can fight him. That was a big rivalry back in the day. Remember that, Chris?
They almost fought on stage. Those two and Kai and Phil.
Kai and Phil. There you go. There's another one. Kai can use some more publicity, right? He's trying to. Did you see that crazy picture he put up on his his Instagram?
What is it?
It was very controversial. Let me see if it's still.
Was it Arnie? Who else had a fight in Gold's Gym back in the day? Was it Craig Titus and Arnie List had a fight?
Well, it wasn't really a fight. Titus just knocked him out, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. Titus is always having a problem at the gym with someone.
Well, Ed had a kick. Ed loved Titus too, and he hated having to kick him out of the gym. But
someone said that Eddie Murphy can't do that movie, so they're going to get Tracy Morgan to be the other brother.
Oh, Tracy Morgan might be even better. That picture of Kai, you think that's a little inappropriate, Chris? A lot of people are outraged by that picture Kai put up.
What is it? He's got a wig on, or
no? Forget the wig. Look down lower.
What's supposed to be inappropriate about it?
His penis.
His penis is sticking out a little too much. I don't
No,
know.
he's wearing posing trunks. It's like a penis.
Yeah, what's the point?
People don't like it. People are.
He wears a posing trunks. I mean, people don't like.
I've seen him naked. I've seen him naked. He's got a big cock. What are you going to do? It's like. But until you mentioned that, I didn't even look at that. I was looking at his shoulders.
I'm just saying what people wrote.
Dave, all I was looking at, Dave, was I was thinking it's not recent. That's not because he put it up to
I don't know. This guy wrote "Control Little Kai, bro."
I was looking at his arms and legs and shit. I didn't even look there until I figured that must be what it is then. But
what's Kai up to, Dave?
I think Kai's trying to stay relevant. That's why I'm saying maybe if you.
Well, that's what I said. What's he up to?
I don't know. Kai versus Phil. I'm sure they could both use the money, right? I mean, why not? $1 million each. I'd pay.
No, period. Like, what is he up to? I mean,
he works for Redcon. I don't know. He's got his little projects going on. I don't know. I'm sure he does all his. I'm sure he trains 2 hours every day. Still.
He has to. Yeah, he has to train Roger Stone at 1 and.
What happened to that video he used to do of where you get dressed up as the female?
Alan Dershowitz at 3.
I don't know why that variety show should have been picked up by Amazon or
you know what it was, Dave? Why he didn't continue with the show?
Why?
Sad. Is because he probably put so much time, effort, work into it, and
he got as many hits as him flexing a bicep in the mirror. Yeah,
people didn't appreciate it.
No,
there's only you know what I mean. It's like art.
He should have continued doing it. I'm telling you, someone would have picked it up. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, someone may have actually, but you have to spend a lot of money, producing that what he was doing.
Well, you got to believe in yourself, right? You can't, what is it? I think he's missing the boat. He's an entertainer all the way around.
If Bleckman didn't fire you, and you were still at MD, and MD internet was going wild, you guys could have produced the show for him. It probably would have been picked up on Netflix, and Bleckman could have gone to the Netflix awards. And the awards for best original is the Carol Burnett Show,
the Kai Green Show,
and Good Morning America,
the Flip Wilson Show,
the Flip Wilson Show, and the winner is the Kai Green Show.
Yeah.
Imagine getting Mr. G and Kai to collaborate together.
Oh my God, forget about it.
Can
you imagine being the director on that set?
I always start laughing every time Mr. T tags me one of his new protein cookie ads. I'm like, what's he on?
The variety show would have been good. If I didn't have 3 kids and I wasn't doing a million things, I could have produced that variety show. I would have risked everything on that thing, making it. Kai with all his wacky friends on there. I think it would. You can't miss with that thing. Who wouldn't watch it? You don't even have to like bodybuilding to watch it. It's such a freak show,
Well, he could have done like a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood too, for children. He could have come up with the children's version. Because it'd be great with kids, you know, right?
Oh yeah, no. I loved all the original dances and stuff like that, the lip syncing.
I reckon a cooking segment and paying homage to the cooking segment, there can always be a grapefruit sitting on the counter as the running joke through the cooking segment.
Yeah. See, what he should do is he should make fun of himself for doing that. Because then that completely negates like anything anyone else can say about it. So
I know. As soon as people know it doesn't bother you or anything, they're like, "Oh, what are we going to do now? We've got to find."
That's what you do, Lee. As soon as someone says something about you, completely.
I would have had T-shirts with like grapefruits on the front and juice squirting out of the grapefruit. I would have had fun with it. I would have had like, Lee on a big weekend and had like meat and a big bowl of fruit salad, like a gangbang.
Right.
Yeah, I would have made it. You could have made out big if you had T-shirts of that. Shit.
I know.
Imagine how many T-shirts you would have sold at the Olympia if you had like a picture of him and just him squeezing a grapefruit with the juice coming out of it. It would have been the biggest.
Lee, I can't get the rest of your shirt. I see the advice. Life is what? A fight.
That was from Venice Beach. My friend Doc AJ, who passed away from multiple sclerosis, he had these shirts and was selling them to raise money for MS. He's the one that petitioned hard for me to get my award at the beach, but sadly he won't be there to see it because he passed away last year from MS. So I just got that shirt on. Life is a fight right now with dieting and all that sort of stuff, let me tell you.
One weekend.
How are you doing on the diet? Are you having trouble with it, or are you sticking to it?
No, it's okay. It's good because I'm eating more regularly again. But I said the only thing that I find hard is, like I said, before I just have 1 or 2 meals, but then I'd have lots of snack meals. So now when I sit down and just eat the chicken and rice or the steak, rice and vegetables or the potato, once I'm done, I'm like, that's it. I can't eat anything else to win. It's like, how long? Like,
you know what, though? You're
so
probably...
Then, like last night, I'm watching TV and I had my chicken and then my wife's sitting there eating. She's eating potato chips and stuff. And then there's like other people eating stuff. I'm like, oh, this is like torture again. And I've still got ice creams in the freezer. So I'm trying to avoid looking in there. And she's hidden chocolate. She's like, now, don't look in this cupboard. I hid the chocolates in here. I'm like, why fucking tell me? Now I know where the chocolates are.
Well,
like,
Chris,
why didn't you put them in another room somewhere?
Will Lee get a cheat meal at some point or no?
That's the first question I asked you when he sent me the
diet.
I said, where's the cheat meal?
First thing he said, when's my cheat meal?
Yeah.
You got to be, when that thing gets a little more
good
sunken in, you might get a cheat meal.
Yeah. Come on, Chris, I've been good this week. I haven't cheated once. I don't cheat, though. In the beginning, I won't cheat because if I do, it's like I need to forget how that food tastes and then I'm okay. But if I remind myself this soon, I won't go back on the diet. So I'm okay in the beginning. So,
so what would it take for some big Dubai promoter to put up, Lee, for you to fight Sean Ray?
Oh, shit, I'd do it for 50,000. I'll do it for 50,000. Yeah.
You think, would Sean do it for 50 grand? You think? Probably not.
Probably not.
How could he say no to that?
50 grand, that might cover his facial reconstruction.
Sean won't be able to see out the glasses.
Yeah, have his sunnies on, won't he?
Yeah.
He wears the sunglasses inside.
Sean was an athlete. Maybe if he got into the gym and started, training and stuff like that, he might be dangerous.
He might surprise us. He could surprise. He might be like a little Mike Tyson coming at me. I might have to kick him. I might have to kick him like the Karate Kid.
I would pay big money. I would pay big money to watch that. I gotta be honest with you.
I think a lot of people would. Could you imagine all the people who dislike Sean in the industry that would pay to watch that?
Nobody dislikes him, Lee. He's beloved.
The funny thing is
rooting for him to win. How many?
Even the people who hate Lee would be rooting for Lee. That's the funny thing.
I know. And there's a lot of them too.
I know. But there's more people that love you.
Now I have to ask you, Dave. That latest video I sent you of Silly Rob going on again, was that like recent on a show and then they'll play in the old bit again? Because everyone's been sending me that clip of Rob. Rob on the show, and then he's sitting there bringing up the other thing. You're like, does this Rob ever stop with whatever he's doing?
We're going to talk about this on After Hours on Tuesday. But yeah, Big Rob, I warned him. I said, stay away from just going on our show. He goes right into the Lion's Den, right on Joe Piataro's show with all the guys who like are after him. It's like going into like a jail cell with 40 guys that want to beat the crap out of you. And of course he's going to get pummeled in there. I told him he deserves it. He should never have gone in there. I don't know what's going on. So.
I think Rob's just doing it for attention. I think he's playing everybody to get views on his stupid YouTube station.
I don't know. I don't know. He'll be on the show on Tuesday. I think Big Lenny's coming on the show on Tuesday too. So because he's been missing.
So
it's going to be a big one.
I don't know if Jimmy will be on because Jimmy is a bit under the weather this week.
What's going on with Jimmy? I've been trying to get
him working night shifts. He's been working night shifts, and then he's got a lot of stress. Now he's got a coleslaw. He's got to go see his coleslaw. He's got a coleslaw. He's got to go see his doctor tomorrow.
Jimmy comes down to Florida. He's staying in Tampa for a week. He comes down, hangs out with me for 2 days, drives 2.5 hours down here, loves it, beautiful weather. He's so at peace. The fucking guy goes back to New York, to the freezing cold, driving a truck in the middle of the night, following the salting truck. I'm like, some people just are gluttons for punishment.
What was the punishment? Going back to the cold weather or the long trip?
He hates the cold weather, and he hates his job driving this truck, and he could have stayed in Florida. You know, he has nothing holding him up there.
Where does he live up there? What town's he live in there?
He's in Huntington. Yeah, he's like my father, Chris. He loves the misery up there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think it's like anything. I think if you're just used to it, it's hard to, if that's where your friends are, you're used to, this is your gym, this is your supermarket, and that sort of thing.
It's
and I understand you because
Jimmy will make new friends in 2 minutes. You know that.
No, but I think too, but I know a lot of people, I know myself included, because I can just go over here if I ever want to visit my grandparents at the graveyard. And I think because his mother's there and that sort of thing, even he can go to the grave site and visit his mother. It's just one of those, even though they've passed on, it feels like you're still close to him and all the memories around that area. Sometimes
that's why he's not progressing, because he's stuck in the past. He's got to he's got to create a new future for himself. He's a young man still. He's only 60.
Dave, it sounds like a motivational book.
He's going to live to 100. He'll live to 100 probably. So, I mean, he's got a good 30, 40 years left. So
Dave's gonna write that book, How to Make a Move. Change your life.
I went to a psychic, not to a psychic person. I went to one of these psychic readings where they read like 100 people are in the audience with my sister. And they actually, I don't know how they read me. And the guy actually said that I see you writing a very spiritual book in your future. So
did he look at you and go, I see you've done steroids in your life. I see. You're like, oh wow, how'd you know that?
No, he didn't say that to me. But
you're going to write a spiritual book like the Dalai Lama.
I don't know.
Well,
you never know. It could be. It's got to keep recreating yourself, right? I can't talk about steroids forever. Speaking of steroids,
you have to somehow.
Why, Dave? Are they going away?
No, I don't know.
It'll be like stories from your friends. All your friends just spoke to over the years.
Dave, someone you once said, right, in response to the question, what's the most exciting thing in your life? And
Boston Light.
Steroids. Yeah, he said steroids.
Boston Light said, no, what's he most passionate about in life? He said
most passionate.
Yeah.
That was like a Dan Duchesne answer.
I know.
Do you know I've been waiting at home all day, Dave, too. So I took off quickly, did a thing, but I've left 2 big notes on my door because your supplements are meant to be coming today. So I've been waiting home all day.
I was afraid to ask you about them. Did they come?
No, but I've been waiting all day. When I was on the phone to him last week,
I said, listen, Dave.
I don't have that.
I use it for the hair only.
Yeah,
only for the hair.
Chris is only worried about it.
You should call. I'm gonna buy it from you, Dave. Relabel it as Chris Aceto's hair care and sell it on Amazon.
I had an argument with the lady too, because I said, listen, by chance I do have to run and I'm not here. I said, I've left 2 big sign things saying, this is Lee Priest, please leave at the front door. I take responsibility, sign them. And I said, will he leave them? I can't do that. I said, why not? I said, I'm giving you permission. She goes, well, that will be up to the driver if he wants to. And then I said, well, I'm telling you to fucking leave him, because what's he going to have to do? Come back again? Because before, Chris, they said that when they left the first note, I called up and said, can I have them redelivered? No, it says they can't be redelivered. I said, well, fine, I'll pick them up. No, you can't pick them up. I said, well, if you can't redeliver them, I can't pick them up, what happens?
Yeah,
The
what do you
person
do?
that sent them has to contact us again
Oh
and
my
give us
God.
permission. So Amanda had to contact them, and then I had to contact them, and then they still haven't come.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They want to know, you're going to do the Masters Olympia.
Hey, first things first with transformations, please. Let's just take one step at a
Can-
time.
They're saying if it was natural, would you do it?
The peanut gallery has to encourage Lee to take a second shot.
Yes, do it. What I'm thinking of doing is where the chest is like malformed here. I've booked in to see a plastic surgeon. I might get an implant and come out with double D's. Double D's.
Oh, you
I
saw
think
I think you have Valentino come and shoot a couple bottles of test propionate into your chest.
If they come out too big, I can do the Miss Olympia or something maybe. So, did you see that girl?
Yes, she won the NCAAs.
Yeah, I saw that. The other girls didn't look too happy, and there were some people complaining, and people like, "Oh,
parents-
you're anti." Yeah,
Some of the parents were complaining,
You talking about Leah Thomas?
whose daughter was like second or third or somewhere up there.
I would be pretty upset if my daughter lost to her.
Are you kidding, Dave? You would go nuts.
I know.
Imagine if your daughter had the record for years, and then this guy who thinks he's a woman now comes along and takes the record.
He's only been a woman for 2 years. Chris, do you know what they give I saw a big interview with her. You know what they give as an anti-androgen to block your testosterone production? Take a guess.
Wait, I got a pre-laugh because I can't even believe what you're gonna say. Because I know I'm gonna.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say?
No. What? Let me write it down.
This is what she's taking. Okay.
I might need it.
This man.
I'm gonna hold it up if I get it right.
In 2019, this man decided he was going to become a woman. So the only thing that he's done
To
in
block
the past
that.
2 years, which enables him to compete as a woman, is number one, take estrogen. Okay, so that he can go through his puberty as a woman. And number two, hold it up. Let's see what you wrote.
No, you tell because I don't want to be embarrassed if I lose.
Aldactone.
Oh my God.
That's the
Aldactone?
androgen blocker he's on.
That's weaker than this.
What'd you
25
write?
mgs of Novadex.
No. On
Oh my God.
spironolactone. That's it. That's his.
That's it?
those are
Binds-
the drugs. So he's basically a man on estrogen and aldactone. That's
it.
Preventing him from being better than all the women, right? Yes, that's it.
And you know what? Oh my God, the estrogen is probably the
That was
equivalent.
out
Of
of
like
his
when
mouth.
you go to the
Out
doctor
of
and they
her
give
mouth,
you
I should say.
HRT and they say you only need 50 milligrams every 3 months. Like 50 milligrams, I know bikini girls
Now,
using 50 milligrams.
aldactone or spironolactone has anti-androgenic properties to it if taken for more than, I think, 10 days or something like that. But how severe could it possibly be,
Well, I'm going to take it and see with my transformation. I'm going to take estrogen and aldactone and see how I look.
The funny thing is that, they were asking him, when you first started doing it, were you depressed? When you saw were your times? She's like, oh yeah, my times went way down, and I was a little depressed. But then she did her first race, and she destroyed everyone by 30 seconds.
But didn't they say when he was swimming as a man, he was like ranked like 400 in the men's, but now he's dominating all the women's. Yeah.
But you know what? Think about it. Ranked 200th in the NCAA. These are guys or people that are going to the Olympics. It's still not bad. You know what I mean? That's still not terrible.
Still 200.
You know where you would be ranked? Do you know where you'd be ranked right now? In the women's, I'd be last probably.
I'd be a submarine. I'd be like the Russian subs. So I'd just sink.
It's so terrible how they're ruining women's sport. I can't even believe.
No, I can't wait till like it's all transgender people beating women in gymnastics and
Chris, think about it. If all you have to do is take aldactone and a little estrogen, guys take way worse than that steroid wise. This is legal. You can actually legally take the estrogen and spironolactone, compete as a woman, make all this money, get scholarships, do what you got to do, and then you can just go off it afterwards and get your little gynecomastia surgery so they can.
It's just the.
You don't think someone's going to scam the system like that? Come on.
Where's Arnold's speech about that?
I would love to hear Arnold's opinion on that. I think Arnold would be, I think he would be against it. I really do.
If you are a woman, you're a woman. If you're a man, you're a man. You should not compete.
Look, if you want to compete as a woman,
if he did, they would come down on him as being transgender phobic or something. You can't say anything.
Here's the Palumbo rules. If you want to compete as a woman,
tuck it under.
No, you got to get it chopped off. That's it.
Yeah.
If you don't go through the full transformation, you're not competing as a woman. I still think it's not fair, but those people at least are dedicated to the fact that they want to really be women,
Well, it was bad enough when Bruce Jenner made the change to Caitlyn. She was only Caitlyn for how long? And she gets Times Women of the Year. How insulting is that to real women who have actually done great things throughout the year? Along comes him, and all of a sudden he's Woman of the Year. I'm like, wow.
Did you see him? She got a knee replacement.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, and she was getting on a mountain bike, and she was like, "Oh."
Well, she did. They asked her about the NCAA swim meet.
She was against it.
Yeah. She said, "Well, the girl who just became a girl played by the rules, but the rules are wrong."
Yep, you're right.
Why wasn't she against the Woman of the Year award? She should have been against the Woman of the Year award.
Here, look at it. Here's this. The
you can
video.
go back and.
She's gonna get on the bike, and she's got the knee replacement.
Oh God!
I'm glad to see that. Even Olympic decathletes need to get the joint replacements too. Here she goes. You see? Look at the knee, all black and blue.
Lee's looking
she's looking pretty hot. I think I might go ask her out.
I wish she'd get on me like that. Right?
How about Caitlyn Jenner fighting like Kim Kardashian or something like that?
Well, they won't let her on the show anymore.
When I come over there for
let her on the show.
When I come over there for my award, I'll ask her out for a date. There's just a reality show right there. Lee and Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to be the new show on TV. Me and her living together. Hi there.
There's an easier way to make money than having to get in the ring with Sean Ray.
Will a black man produce it? It'll be great. Oh my God,
I'm serious. I think we're going to see more of these celebrity boxing matches between strongmen, maybe powerlifters, bodybuilders.
Well, it's happening here in Australia. We've got a lot of footballers doing it now, and this Wednesday there's a rugby player and an AFL player called a turf war match where they're going to box it out. But we've had a few rugby players now, like your NFL players, doing it here in Australia for big money.
Think about this. May he rest in peace, because I miss him. But imagine Rich Piana fighting someone like a celebrity guy. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch that? I mean,
didn't he fight someone and blow out his knee, Dave?
No, I think that was a different guy.
No, Rich Piana blew out his knee doing something.
He did. He tore his patella tendon, but I don't think it was during a fight.
Getting on a bike
on TV.
Getting on a bike with Caitlyn.
No, but I'm just saying we have some really larger than life characters in our.
But you got to train for it. Like the video I sent you of me just hitting the bag yesterday and stuff. Sometimes it can hurt. I remember, like I said, Samir at the gym went to throw a punch at a guy and tore his tricep because he snapped it out really quick and tore his tricep. So a lot of these bodybuilders who go to fight, if they're not really ready for it, there's going to be a lot of torn muscles and shit happening.
I think Eddie Hall thought he was going to just throw haymakers and knock out Thor.
But Eddie actually looked better when the fight was meant to happen, and he dieted down for it. Then he looked better back then.
I agree with you. Yeah, he was too heavy, I think, for this fight. But you know what? In his own, he didn't look like he was running out of gas or anything. I think Thor was just a better boxer. That's all.
And he took a few good hits from Thor and still got up, and that's it's like that was a good one that knocked him down and sent him down.
Look, you know what? You got to have a pair of balls to get in the ring with Thor. I mean, the guy is a monster. I don't care, whether he never boxed or not. The guy is a giant, and it's scary. He's a scary looking dude, and Eddie's a big guy. But Thor is like he looks like he's about a foot taller than Eddie.
And when you think about it, you only need roughly 8 pounds to knock somebody out on the right spot. So that's not much.
Well, we know
they both knocked each other down, which was kind of cool. That kind of whenever someone gets knocked down in the fight, it always makes the fight that much better. I hate these guys where they just kind of box the whole time and no one ever really gets hurt. If I'm watching a fight, I want to see someone get hurt at least. So I think
Yeah,
you
so-
know what, for free, because they put it out there for free. It was tremendous entertainment. I loved watching it, and I'd love to see.
Hey.
I'd like to see these guys fight again.
How many views they get, Dave, for free?
I don't know. It's a good question. It has to be in the millions. It has to be.
How are you going to do a book on spiritual and love and peace if all you want to do is see people fighting, getting hurt, Dave?
Because I have this little violence. I secretly sadistically like to watch people kill each other and fight each other. As long as there's rules, I don't want to see anyone die or anything like that.
Okay, it's like, oh, you got rules, back to back, both take a pistol at the count of 10, turn around and shoot. Okay, William Burr.
I was gonna say, can you imagine back in the day, Chris, like in the 1700s, guys actually, if they got into an argument, they would have a duel and they would actually shoot at each other. Luckily, most of these guys had terrible shots. No one ever died. People
do duels. They just do it in a different way these days.
No, but it was legal. It was like that was like the rule, you know.
Now it's Twitter wars, Dave.
And what happens if you miss though? It's like, don't you go anywhere, fucker.
Yeah. They got to reload the gunpowder.
Who can reload their gun the quickest? You wait there, and I'm gonna fucking get you.
Aaron Burr, right? Didn't he kill Alexander Hamilton? Right? Yeah. The good old.
I said William Burr. I got the Burr name right somewhere. My American history is a bit off. Yeah, but even if they didn't have guns, they'd have the old fucking swords getting out and going for it. I did see that at the Arnold Classic.
Those are the good old days when men were men, right? Not when they were wearing wigs and pretending to be girls.
Did you see that at the Arnold Classic? Some of that where the guys were fighting with the swords and the axes, slugging it out with their metal armor on. That was pretty fun.
I was going to say that's a big thing now, like dressing up like warfare. Like they reenacting.
They were like whacking each other hard. They were like whacking.
Anyway, guys, if you'd like to see a battle royale of sorts where guys box each other or MMA each other, but in the comments below, put who you'd like to see battle who. Maybe the Lee Priest, Chris Aceto, Dave Palumbo production company can try to make it happen. We'll try to do the best.
Look at that. That's a perfect color. Look, perfect color.
I know. I got to say, Lee, Lee's very patriotic to the company he works for.
What is that? What are you drinking, Lee? Tequila.
I want you to know, Chris,
he's really having a tequila, Dave.
It's 0 calories. It's like Crystal Light. 0 calories, so it's okay.
Tastes better than Crystal Light.
Have you allowed him, Chris, to have amino acids on this? Can he drink his amino evolve?
Shut up, Dave.
He cannot
shut up.
I'm clearing it for you. Chris cleared it. You can have your amino evolve.
I'm doing a transformation, Dave. I'm not getting ready for the Olympia in December. For God's sakes, I can have something, can't I?
You got to take this seriously because
I got to start out Dactone now.
Somebody from Australia get Lee a syringe so he can take the second shot.
Yeah. If anyone can bring me around a nice sharp needle.
Yeah, would someone please bring a syringe over to Lee's house so he can take his
last time I went to this needle exchange where we can go get them for free was when I did like a thing when I had the car accident thing, I'd take some Deca to help, and this would have been 2015. I said, I'm gonna go in, but just as I was gonna go in, these two bodybuilders went walking in with tank tops on. I'm like, what fucking wankers? I said, I'm not walking in. It's on a main road. Someone's going to see me go in and come out. They're going to think,
post it up.
He's paying $10 a gallon for gasoline. He stepped on the accelerator and blew 20 gallons in.
No, that was 2015.
And he's complaining about syringes for free. So
I just don't want to be seen going in to get him. That's all, because they'll be like, oh, there he is. Look at him.
I don't blame him.
I'll have to wait till I know a friend of mine's going and say, just get me a cup of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't I think about it? I was at the hospital Monday. Why didn't I just grab some while I was there?
There you go.
When they took my blood, I should have said,
I used to go,
I should have said, don't throw that away. I'll take that. Thank you.
When I would go to the doctor, when I was like, bodybuilding, I used to always go through the looking for stuff in the doctor's office. I don't know why. What?
You know, the best place I
went to find there, like a bottle of like testosterone laying around or something like that.
I'll tell you what used to be good.
Bottle of testpropionate. Dave's like, I'll put it in my pocket.
I'm going to tell you the dumbest thing I ever did. I had this kid. He was like obsessed with steroids, and he always managed to find these little connections that like no one had. He talked me in. It was like 2 a.m, Chris. He talked me to drive. He picked me up in my house in Long Island. He drove me into Manhattan. There was like a 24-hour veterinary place there. He's like, they got bottles of Winstrol there and EQ. I know it. He goes, I have friends. They said they got bottles there. You got to go like 4 a.m. when no one's there, and you can throw them a few bucks. So I don't know why he was going. first of all, he had a Saline Mustang, Lee, which you would appreciate because I know you had that.
Oh, yeah.
He was driving 150 miles an hour. There was no cars in the road. We went from my house to Manhattan. We got there in 20 minutes, Chris. And it was at least 40 miles. And, usually there's so much traffic. It takes forever. We went right through the Midtown Tunnel. We went right to this place. We pull up in front. We go in. I'm in a tank top and short. He's in a tank top. I'm like, we got to be these two dumbest people. There's no way they're going to give us fucking steroids. He's no. I'm telling you. We go into the lobby. They're like, yeah, can we help you? My friend's like, we need some medication for our dogs. They're like, well, what do you need? Where's the dogs? Dogs at home. I really need to get a bottle of Winstrol V and Equipoise. And she's like, hold on. And she goes, gets one of the veterinarians comes out. He's like, I can't prescribe this for you, unless you bring your animal in. And I mean, what would be the possible emergency? And I was so mortified. I just tiptoed out of there and let him.
Well, here's two quick stories for you. When I used to service fire equipment, we used to go to these horse studs where they have $1 million race horses. Now, in their cupboards, they had everything: Winstrol, Equipoise, whatever. Right. So in the toolbox, a few bottles went missing now and then. But here's another story. When I was in Venice, I had a friend from New Zealand come visit. I won't say who. Yeah. And he met up with some Europeans at Gold's Gym. And so I'm training with Kurt. He goes, Lee, I met these Europeans. They got some stuff. They just come over from Italy or whatever, and they got a whole heap. I've got to meet them at the hotel. I'm like, okay. So Ford Saline. I drive them down. Kurt says, I'll come with you. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'm going to wait in the car. I don't want to be involved. So I'm waiting in the car. All of a sudden, I see Kurt go running, boom, and hits the hotel room door and bounces off like he shoulder barged it. And he bounced off. And then he goes running again. The door fucking breaks open. They go in. They go, go. They got this bag of shit. Like, what happened? He goes, the guys told us when they were going to be there, when they weren't going to be there, so we just took it. I'm like, but you told them you're going to come back and buy some. So they just took it all. So, we've got to come back. So later on, when they come back, so here he comes back with all his cash. He goes up to the guys and goes, I'm here to buy some stuff. Oh, sorry, we got robbed. I'm like, fucking hell.
So did Kurt rob them or someone else robbed them?
Yeah, my friend from New Zealand did, but Kurt was just involved. And then he comes home, he puts it all over the bed, and his wife comes and she goes, what did you do? And she told him, and she's like, you take that back. You better take it back. I said, we're not fucking taking it back. How are we going to explain how we got it?
I know what everyone who was watching is thinking. What did Lee Priest take from the stash? What did you get out of that?
Nothing, really. I didn't get anything.
You didn't even ask for anything at that point?
No, I don't think I was off season then, so I didn't really need anything. So I wasn't really.
You know what? I don't think you were a real bodybuilder. I really don't think
he wasn't on a bridge. He was a Walmart bodybuilder. He started
Walmart bodybuilder. You're right. Everyone would have taken the next. They would have taken the next cycle at least worth.
Well, the guy I used to buy my stuff off now, he's like, he's engaged or married to my ex-cappy at the time, and he still tells people today, listen, if I had to make money from Lee, I would have gone broke. He goes, I can tell you, Lee's whole cycle for the Olympia cost him probably $1,300. So it's like, I think the most I ever spent was like 18, including diuretics and clenbuterol.
That's a lot. GH is where it would cost
$1,800, not $18,000, Dave.
Yeah. I'm saying GH is what cost all the money. The other stuff was.
Well, like I said, I used that once in '94. I took 2 IUs a day, didn't notice shit. And then '96, I tried it again with 3 IUs, didn't notice shit. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to stick to Winstrol. At least I know I get in shape with that. So
he probably put on 20 pounds of muscle. He didn't even notice it, but it probably happened 6 months later.
No, but I was still young though. Like 96, I was still 24. So I thought maybe I'm still too young. It doesn't really work. Now I'm 50 odd. Maybe it might work now. Maybe I should go on now.
All right, we got to wrap this up, guys. Once again, if you want to see a celebrity boxing match from top-level IFBB pros, let me know who it is. You never know. I'll throw it out there to some of our Middle East
Dave
friends.
will make it happen. Species-inspired boxing match.
I'd rather sponsor a boxing match than a bodybuilding show. I think I'd get a lot more.
I think you'd probably get more views.
You'd have to come up with a name, Dave. Like you had Bros versus Pros.
Yeah, there you go.
Be like.
That's a good idea, Chris. You're starting to spark my imagination. Is starting to go off in my head. I got Lee, so I can get Lee. We got to get someone to fight Lee. Who would you want to fight? If Sean Ray would probably never do it. Who else would you fight?
See, I'd have to, but it's got to be someone like. Sure, it's got to be someone I dislike. I don't think I could fight someone that I like or was a friend with type thing.
Well, there's a lot of guys you don't like, though. Who else?
But not enough to fight him though. Like Sean, I got this hatred for because he's just a cunt. But who said that? It's like Sean just has this running thing that gets on people's nerves. I don't really have anyone that like that I'd really, because it'd be like, it's like when I'm sparring. It's like the guys I spar, one's an ex-footy player that played football, and he was coming at me hard, but because I sort of know him, when you spar and I hit him hard a couple of times, I'm like, oh shit, sorry. It's almost like you don't want to hit him hard. It's like because you're sort of a friendly to him.
I got news for you. If there's a lot of money at stake and someone whacks you in the face, you're going to be pretty pissed off, and you're going to hit him back. All right, we'll think about
Then
it.
I see red.
I gotta go.
I'll load up more on tests for the fight than I will transformation.
All right, that's good. I got my foot, Chris, is the bottom, the bones of the bottom of my right foot have collapsed, and I think it's probably because I had that torn quad for the last 12 years or less 10 years on that right side, and so now I'm going to the podiatrist. They want to do a fusion of the bottom of my foot, not the toes, but the bottom. I guess there's 3 bones that they fuse together. It's a nightmare operation because you got to be in a cast. I can't drive. I'm going to be hobbled around, but I'm in a lot of pain actually. I never thought my foot would go. What?
Ask Caitlin. She might have a good surgeon.
She's got a good knee surgeon. I got a good surgeon who's going to do it, but I'm dreading doing it because
how long are you going to have to be in a cast for?
It's like a 12-week thing. I think they graduate you to different things. They graduate you to different things. I think it's like 8 weeks in the cast, but then you can't. There's no way.
Just put a roller skate on it.
I got to get one of those scooters. I'm going to be like a scooter guy now. You know, the people.
You put your knee on it. You put your knee on the scooter.
You see these people in the supermarket with the scooters? That's what
wanker. What a wanker.
It's a nightmare. So I find out I'm going to the doctor tomorrow.
Oh, you're as bad as Jimmy now. You're as bad. You can talk about us. Jesus Christ.
No, when you get older, you fall apart. It's true. I mean, but.
Are you having enough calcium with your brittle bones, Dave? What do you got, progeria? What's going on?
I'm so flexible, Chris, that when I could actually adjust my foot back into the right position, it pops like I pop the bones back in place. Matter of fact, I actually went back to my shoulder surgeon. A lot of people always ask me how my shoulder implants are. I went back to the surgeon on last Thursday or Friday, and he did all the tests and he made me, flex and move and do all this other stuff. And he said, I got to be honest with you. He said, I don't want to jinx you because I don't want anything to go wrong. You've had the best results of any person that I've operated on shoulder wise. He goes, you can do everything. He couldn't believe that I could throw like a football overhand.
Did you ask him why you had to be naked while you're doing all those stretches and shit?
I asked him why he did a prostate check on me for my shoulders. Yeah, I couldn't figure that out.
Dave's going to bring out Solarize for your feet. Are you having problems with your feet? Right. Use Solarize.
So I said to him, Dr. Franklin, can you freaking fix my foot? He goes, I only do shoulders. I said, I hope my feet get as good a result as my shoulders did.
How long, Dave, after you had the shoulder surgery could you do stuff around the house?
My motion was so restricted before the surgery that after the surgery I had the same. They don't want you to move past here, and I wasn't doing it anyway. So I had no restrictions essentially, but they didn't want me like reaching out and grabbing something. Yeah. I was very compliant. I didn't go to the gym for 12 weeks after the surgery. I did whatever he told me to do. I didn't go beyond what he told me to do. And so he said, that's why you have good compliance. As a matter of fact, I guess they look at the x-ray and they see how much bone is grown into the implant itself. And he's like, you have so much bone that has grown in there, probably because you're training and, training stimulates bone growth. Mm. He goes, I don't know. He goes, you may never even need a revision because usually these things only last like 20 years. He's like, you have really good bone growth in there. And that's because you're compliant, you eat well, you take the right supplementation, you listen to what I told you to do. And he said, training is not bad when you should work out. You don't want to try to break records in the gym. He said, but you should work out because training builds bone density. That's why, you don't really see a lot of people who are bodybuilders with like osteoporosis because weight training makes the bones denser. It makes them retain calcium. It's when you don't do anything that you get osteoporosis.
In answer to Chris's question, if you ask Amanda, he still doesn't do stuff around the house really.
I'll never do it.
That's why his shoulder's so good still. He doesn't use it. Oh, what's this?
Yeah. My shoulder, if I could only walk on my shoulders now, I would be in good shape. But
why don't you try it? Next time you go down to that trampoline park, I want to see you go doing flips.
You don't want to see me do any flips.
With your foot, with your foot and your shoulder. I want to see something.
I'll let Amanda stick to the flips. That's all. My kids can do the flips. All right, let's wrap this thing up as we say every week here at Heavy Muscle Radio with Heavy Muscle Radio. What are you like trying to compete with Chris? Yeah.
No, I'll try to get
You're
one
Paul
up with
Hansen.
Hansen. I'll
The
try to
Paul
beat
Hansen.
Hansen's record.
If we should make a rule: if you're a guest in the show, you can't say the truth hurts. You know. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Make sure you check out After Hours on Tuesday night. We're gonna have a great show. Big Lenny will be joining us. For now.
And follow my Instagram for my cooking tips that people keep asking me for. I've been putting up pictures of my food and stuff, and people have been asking the dumbest questions. How long do you cook it for? I'm like, until it's fucking cooked. How do I know how long to cook it for? It's like some of the dumbest questions.
Lee is a very angry advice giver, I noticed. He's very,
Have you noticed?
very abrasive.
I'm dying, Dave. I'm dying.
Very abrasive.
Yeah,
He's been
it's
dying for 5
carb
days.
Do you put
7
anything
days
on it?
he's
Does it
been
look
gone.
like there's anything on it?
That's roid rage, Dave. He's on roid.
He's got
on-
roid rage from
yeah.
one shot he took 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Wait till you see me next week after my second shot. Look out.
All right, I got to go. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.